Hi there, I'm Joey.
I'm Jacob.
And we are watching Star Trek for the first time in person!
Again!
We can do it! We can touch each other! That's our hands hitting each other! That's it! We hit it! We're here! Oh my god, I'm so excited! Shit! We're watching Star Trek for the first time. We're watching Star Trek Next Generation. We're starting season 2. We finished season 1 last time with... what happened last time? That's right, the Romulans are back, as they say. So, we'll see what that's all about. I'm sure will have nothing to do with this episode.
Oh, I guarantee it.
Guarantee.
I've seen enough Star Trek to know I'm not going to be baited.
Yes. But hopefully, and I believe I've been told on multiple occasions that the Next Generation Season 2 is better than Season 1. So,
God,
I guess we'll see.
I hope.
I guess we'll see. First title isn't giving me confidence, though.
Oh.
Today we're watching an episode called The Child.
Oh, I just get flashbacks to...
And the children shall lead.
Yeah.
What was the other one from last season? It's great that I have notes, isn't it? Coming of Age. That was the one with, oh god, hang on. What is it? Oh, no. Coming of Age is where he does the little thing. When the Bell Breaks. That's the one with the kids on board.
Yep.
That was the bad one. There were a lot of bad ones last season, to be fair. But Star Trek does not have a good track record with kids, is my point.
Exactly.
So, we're going to see what it's all about. We're going to get into post-episode thoughts in a second. Be sure to join us then. We're about to watch The Child. If I was not so excited for the fact that we're recording in person again, I would actually fucking quit on this show right now.
Yeah.
This was so bad. This was such a
bad start.
So bad. So the thing I knew about this going in, and I'd like to think this didn't really color my opinion, it did help me rationalize some of the weird shit happening though, was that, so a lot of this season is shorter than every other TNG season by I think a solid 4 episodes, and that's because there was a writer's strike at the time. And I believe that is the reason why this opening episode is adapted from the originally proposed revival of Star Trek called Star Trek Phase 2, which actually straight up had scripts for and everything, this being one of them, I believe. And you can tell that the script comes from a completely different show, because it does not fit into this show.
This episode, minus introducing 2 new characters and establishing another thing, totally pointless on top of it all.
Yes. You can also tell it totally comes from a show more fully under the control of Gene Roddenberry, because we've straight up got Immaculate Conception in this, and there's a fair bit of religious imagery in TOS at times, and so I think that definitely comes from that. There's a solid minute-long abortion debate in this episode.
Yeah.
Which actually lands on the great conclusion of Troy saying, I'm going to have this kid, and Picard basically says, okay, cool, discussion over. She made her decision. We're good. That's it.
Everyone around her, her friends, her official colleagues, they could all talk and talk, but when the moment she's like, no, I'm keeping it. Yeah. Everyone's like, all right.
It is her choice. And I like that. I like that. Other significant things, Riker has a beard. This is of course significant for obvious reasons. I thought the thing that I had heard was that when Riker gets a beard, the show gets good. That is not true.
The beard did not make the show good automatically
at all. Speaking of Riker, also, if we had known about this going into this show, we would have done a shirtless Shatner count, like how we did for TOS.
Yeah.
Riker versus chair, I have written down, because it's come to my attention between seasons that Riker cannot sit in a chair properly.
Yes. And it was really funny that moment.
Riker is canonically bisexual in my mind, which I think that makes a lot of sense, actually. And Jonathan Frakes, I think, just likes to show off that he's tall, so he just steps over the back of a chair to sit into it. Yeah. Even when he gets out of it, he steps over the back of the chair.
He'll stand up, and it's kind of more awkward to get out of the chair that way.
Yeah. But that is, of course, not the only significant thing happening in this episode. We have some crew changes. We have some big things happening here. First off, changes to characters we already know. Wesley Crusher is no longer just an acting ensign. He is a full-on ensign, which is very cool. Worf, I believe, is now the security chief.
Yes.
He's now dressed in yellow. He's got the little belt on. Or did he always have the belt?
I don't know if he always had the belt. It's been a bit. It's been a minute since.
It's been a while since we recorded, to be fair. Geordi's now wearing yellow. I don't know what that means rank-wise, but he's wearing yellow now, so I think that means something. And like I said, Riker's rank must be signified by his beard. Also, other big changes. Crusher is gone. We talked about this at the end of the last season. What's her name? Gates McFadden was fired, which is an absolute shame.
Narratively, she's now a head of a medical wing or something.
She's medical chief something in Starfleet or whatever. Which is fucking awesome.
Yeah, she's a medical chief now. That's the point.
It is very funny though, because there's this great scene. We knew she was gone. But Wesley just gets into an elevator with Picard, and before any dialogue started, because they stand there in silence for a while, I was just like, what have you done with my mom? Just like...
And even before they get in the elevator, he's like, he's like, come with me. Like Picard's like, come with me.
Yeah.
And I said, watch your shit or you're going the way your mother did.
He's gonna like kill him, like stuff him in a closet or something. Although the episode actually is about Wesley going to leave them. So I mean, I guess yeah. But he chooses to stay in the end. And I kind of like that. I like that he's a full-on member of the crew. I did like our little end of episode zinger with who's gonna tuck him in at night and warp with the whole, like, I won't assume that responsibility. But very funny. Actually very funny. Replacing Crusher, though, we have the return of Diana Moldar to Star Trek, who we have previously seen in 2 episodes of TOS. I believe Return to Tomorrow and Is There in Truth and Beauty. I think she was the best character in both of those episodes. So she's clearly a great actress. Mm-hmm. She plays one Dr. Pulaski. I kind of like... I mean, this is the Dr. Leonard McCoy sensibilities in me talking, but I like kind of a more hard-ass medical officer on the ship.
Yeah, someone who's going to give the crew the right kind of slap in the face.
Yeah. She's got some fun little jabs with Data throughout, which I thought were very fun. And I can see that developing very nicely. And I can see her being a fun character. I don't know if she leaves when Crusher comes back. I would kind of like if she stayed on still to some degree, but I have no clue. I don't know to what degree she continues to stay in the show. But I know she's here for at least this season.
For this season alone, I'm curious to see how we do this. Yeah.
Other new additions to the ship, we have one more. I forgot to write down the character's name, but we have Whoopi Goldberg here. She's Whoopi Goldberg for now. I did know that Whoopi Goldberg really loves Star Trek. I think I mostly know that because I know she loves Doctor Who as well, and she wants to be the Doctor, which I think is fantastic.
That's such a fun idea. Yeah.
I would love that. But I know the story that I know at least is that when she was little and she saw like Uhura, she like ran to her parents or whatever and said like, oh, there's a black lady on TV and she's not a maid, you know, and she like very inspired. First off, you know me, huge Nichelle Nichols lover.
Yeah.
So being so inspired by Nichelle Nichols to the point of like getting into the industry. Becoming part of Star Trek history in this way, I think that's just so fucking cool. I'm guessing she's a regular now. She was listed as a special guest in the opening, but
so was Thing.
So was Diana Moldar. So I don't know if that means they're both gonna be like kind of in and out, but they seem to be recurring. They're in recurring roles.
Roles. I feel like Whoopi Goldberg is going to be less recurring.
Possibly. I don't know how big she was at the time, to be honest. I don't know how big Whoopi Goldberg was in the late 80s.
I don't know that either.
I'm not sure. She was fantastic in this, though. I think the best scene in the whole episode came from her talking with Wesley there.
Yes,
her being the reason that he stays on the ship.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was actually really great.
Yeah. I can see some great scenes coming from her just being a bartender on the Enterprise, though. I think that's just a fantastic idea. Kind of harkens back to my favorite scene from The Cage, actually. From the very first, from the pilot of Star Trek. The scene with the medical officer in that. And he's basically a bartender to what's his name? Captain... What's his name? Pike. Captain Pike. Yeah, that's
right?
it. Yeah. Captain Pike. I can Star Trek. Yeah. Actually, just go through the rest of my notes because we're actually talking for a while. This is a longer video. A couple of notes. I loved the scene between Pulaski and Data. The whole one is my name, the other is not. I have written down.
Where she calls him Data.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
The hard A, I suppose.
Yeah, and she examines him and like kind of like comes to the conclusion that like, oh no, you can like actually like feel pain, like you are offended by that, aren't you? That's really interesting. That's cool. Again, I can just see that relationship developing very nicely.
But I did not, unfortunately, I didn't buy the main plot of this episode.
Yeah. Aside from the fact that I just hate child actors in Star Trek all the time, no matter what.
They have this bad track record.
Yeah. They're all part of all of my least favorite episodes of. Not all of my least favorite episodes. Most of my least favorite episodes are racist. But no, most of them are a lot of them are like, you know, kid actors just drastically dragging down my enjoyment in an episode.
Yeah.
In this case, though, it does also come at the cost of Deanna Troi as a character, I think. Both Marina Sirtis' performance is just painstakingly stilted, I think. She just does not know how to act off this kid, and doesn't know how to deal with a script that is clearly not meant for her character. I'm guessing, once again, this is the cause of adapting a script from a totally different show into this.
I can't even begin to picture which character this would have been.
Yeah, I mean, I know nothing about Star Trek Phase 2, other than it was the originally proposed sequel series to Star Trek. But whatever. So Troy is acting out of character throughout most of this. I feel like Troy, despite the fact that Deanna Troi knows what is that this kid is eventually going to have to leave them, that he is a temporary being on the ship, I find Troy's motherly instinct slightly out of character. I never really got that from her character before this point.
No.
I mean, hell, her character has trouble with having a relationship, period, let alone a full-on family.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
just hard to buy.
Yeah. And so that is where the episode really, really falls for me. And that is most of the episode, to be fair. Also, there's this weird-ass subplot with... Oh, God, what was it called? What was the thing they were working on?
Oh, it was like a containment field for, like, these plasma bacteria thing. Because there's, like, a plague in a faraway planet or something.
Naturally.
The cause of many a Star Trek episode.
Yes. But yeah, no, like, that served absolutely no purpose. Even in there, like, oh, we still may never solve this problem. And Jordy's like... I gotta love LeVar Burton's performance in that. He even like looks around. He's like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Like, what? Did we actually do nothing this whole episode? Right? Oh man! Again, if I were not just so damn excited to be recording again, I would be far more mad than I actually am. Welcome to season 2. All right, be sure to join us next time when we continue Star Trek: The Next Generation. Until then, this has been Joey Morgan.
I'm Jacob.
Goodbye.